You can support the creation of these videos by supporting me at patreon.com/John D. Ruddy. I was there, man, when it all started. Following the hype, collecting all the merch, and getting Pokemon Blue for Christmas, and indeed, catching them all. I'm here to help you build your own Pokédex. What do I mean by that? We are going to draw every single Pokemon. Yes, there's over 1,000 of them now. We're going to do it. Not only will you learn to draw Pokemon, but you'll also learn loads of great skills for drawing cartoons and drawing people that you can bring into your own illustrations. You can start your collection with a ring binder and some Polly Pockets, or if you just want to draw, you'll need simple printer paper, a pencil, I prefer a HB or 2H because we're going to be rubbing these lines out later, an eraser, and some sort of pen or a fine tip liner, and indeed some colourful markers for the end product. Come along and join as we try to draw them all. Hi folks! So today we are going to be drawing one of the legendary, let's see, there she is. She, he, who knows. But yeah, today we're going to be drawing some of the legendary birds. This of course being Articuno. Where are you? There's the camera. Also, shout out to Skullwara in Smithborough, County Monaghan, for this wonderful little Articuno they got for me as a thank you for doing a really fun creative schools project with them. Yeah, props to them. This sits proudly in my office. Anyway, so first of all, to our quick draw. So, for Articuno, we're going to start with Articuno. We will do the wings, which go boop, 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 like that. And then another little line inside, boop, 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 like that. And then, watch this. Little rectangle there. This is its elbow. Little rectangle there. Well, not a full rectangle, closed rectangle. But you're going to use that. You can then fill it with other ones and use those ones you did in the in-between to kind of get the angle, see, like the kind of fanning out because it's a wing. And then we're gonna bring it down to its back leg. Like that, that's its back leg. And its talon. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And then the other one. So, like that. And then 1, 2, 3, and boom, like that. And then the front belly plumage goes a bit like that. To keep it warm. It's a nice Pokemon. And then it's big. I like it. And then little pieces on the top. Its eyes is like a classic little anime eye. The other eye we don't really even see. Curve it back like that. Now the other wing is pretty much the same, except the other side. Same idea again. And then we do little rectangle, little rectangle, little rectangle. And Articuno's wings are the way that, like, you know, they're kind of square at the edges. You know, it's because they're frosty. But my favorite bit about drawing Articuno is the tail. It's like a big ribbon. So watch this. You're like, okay, but what next? Right, so we're going to draw the other side. Where do you see that? We're going to draw the other side, come out like this, and it's going to join there. And then it's going to come down like this. And the other side, like that. On the inside of that, we can do some lines. Shazam! Beautiful Articuno. And then our next one, the fun-filled Zapdos. So with Zapdos, we start off with its beak, which is very long and mean-looking. Its eyes are very angry. And now its head. Now, I know you could be tempted to just like do the whole thing, you know, just simple spikes. But can I always think, you know, like even though these just look like big old spikes, you know, they are feathers of sorts, and like its head is still underneath there. So, like you kind of imagine that its head still exists underneath all of this madness. And so then from that, we got its body. Ooh, earthquake. Not actually, that was just my knee hitting the table. And then we got its two legs. These little zigzaggy bits are just where the feathers meet the legs. Okay. Okay, so there's that. And then its body comes back down, and then for the tail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in between each of those, it's got some darkness. And so for the wings, again, you know, you don't just randomly do your big spiky bits, because technically they are wings. Like there are, I like to always imagine it like that, you know, there's a skeleton under there, you know. Same. Of course, this will be much easier to gauge with our longer form. There's Zapdos, sweet, and then finally the beautiful, arguably I think the most beautiful of the three, is Moltres. So we start with her beak, which is big and long, like a snipe, and its eyes, and around to the top of his head, around the back. And it's, watch this, its neck, wow, gorgeous. It's like a swan almost. But of course, it's got the fire. Again, fire, don't think about it too much. Fire is wild, you know, so let your hand go a little bit. Anyway, got two shoulders there, and watch this. One wing's gonna go out like that. The other wing's gonna go out like that. Alright. And then from there, we can do Moltres' body. Body will go down like this. Now Moltres tends not to have, Moltres or Moltres, whatever, tends not to have her claws, her talons out on force. So they can be down here. I like that. But, I mean, Moltres isn't anything without flames. And again, the trick with a flame is wild, so like I'm not thinking too much about those. Now that does take practice to do that, but still, you know. and some other little bits where the wing meets the flame, or where the wing becomes flame. And as well, like, there's a flow, so like the flames are going out like the wings of Articuno, you know, in the same way the flames sprawl out like feathers. You know, so you don't, they're not just randomly going in any direction, you know, they follow the pattern roughly of wings of the feather, and then the tail does just kind of go out. It still has a bit of a shape to it, but yeah. So there you go. There's our quick draw. Boom. Now, onto the real deal. Fun little fact. That wasn't the first quick draw that I did. I recorded the first one, but then realized that I didn't actually record it. I didn't press record, so that was my second time doing that one, so yay! Anyway, on to Articuno. Here we go. Let's have a look at how we drew Articuno back in the day. Think of it. Yeah. Not bad. Wings are a wee bit kind of asymmetrical. We'll see, but again, this is where drawing our pencil drawing first will really come in handy. Also, apparently, I didn't know how to spell evolution at that point, but however, look at this, how fancy. If it was in both Pokemon Red and Blue, it was there, and you found it on Seafoam Island. Skills, Peck, Ice Beam, Blizzard. Is that how you spell Blizzard? I think there's an extra I in there. Ice and Flying. There we go. And then there's going to be Zapdos and Moltres. That is a pretty good Moltres, in fairness. So, you know. So, that's where we're starting from. Okay. Now, Articuno is number 144. Articuno. Coming from Arctic and Uno. Yeah, because the three legendary birds are Uno, Dos, Tres. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. So it's a bizarre. I don't know. Some what do you call it, was like super bored. Some translator was super bored. Was like, I'm gonna make a Spanish pun. Well, yeah, sure. You go for your life. So first of all, we're gonna start with the head. Okay. It's nice and circular, and then we start with the. Continue with the body. You're like, but John, they're not attached. Check it out. In fact, that body can be a little bit bigger. And yeah. So, do the legs here, and the legs here, and let's just the face. We're just gonna mark out. It looks terrifying right there, but that's where the beak's gonna go and the eye's gonna go there. But that's just to mark out roughly where it's all happening. And now the wings. So there is a risk when you draw the wings that you kind of that they look like they're sticking into two separate parts of the body. So we can actually avoid that. So look at this. Got these bits going up, and then they go up. Now you don't want these to be too long either, so the way that we'll just double check. So I'll do like a rectangle here, and a rectangle here. So these are going to be our feathers, and we'll do a little rectangle here. Should be 8 leading up to here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, we'll go for it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. And 6 up to top. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it could probably actually be a little bit longer, you know. Yeah, that works. Okay. Now, that'll all come together more when we're doing the line drawing anyway. So for the legs, so for the feet, so for the actual feet, watch this, it's like a little triangle and a little triangle. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and one at the back, one at the back. You're like, what? Oh, watch this. I'm gonna turn this one into a sausage. This one into a sausage, but it has a little bend to it. That side you won't really see all that much. The back talon, again, you don't really see all that much. So for the tail, so the tail's gonna be a continuation from the back here. So watch this, it's like a ribbon. So just want to make sure it's nice and big. So I'll draw the other side here too. And that swoops around. Actually joins that line. And it's so pretty. Kind of swirls around like a wee spiral there. And yeah, I love Articuno's tail. It's so cool. And there we go. That works. So for the face, it's like a little triangle. Another little triangle underneath. Oh yeah, we can also do the belly. There's like kind of fur in the belly. I'm going to do that in the line, I think. So Articuno has this cool plumage coming out of its head. And its wee eye. It's actually going to be above where I marked it, but that's fine. Yeah, the top half of the wing should be about the same length as head to the bottom of the body. The top half of the wing. So yeah, that's a wee bit. It's just a wee bit off, but still enough to get away, because you don't want them to be too long either, because that might look weird in its own way. So here we go. Let's get down to business. Disney, don't sue me. I only sang a very brief line of it. Okay. So, little beak. It's like a parrot's beak. Now, as angular as these corners are, there's a slight curve to these ones here. But it's very reminiscent of like a snowflake. I think I'm going to do the tail. Now, the tail's fun in that you want to try and get this lovely continuous line as best you can. So it just, you guessed it, flows. He said the word. I was holding my breath. And you'll notice I'm really holding the page down because I do not want it shifting anywhere underneath. Okay. Gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So. Because I guess that's what's nice too, is like you can take some of the skills that you learn from this into drawing like real birds. Right, so you want to make sure this looks like it's matching up with there, just size wise. So now these are going to only very much be guidelines for me, because once I actually start putting down some shapes, they can sometimes be a little bit different. And there's a slight kind of curve to them as well as they go in. It's like the air's, it's like she's mid-flap, and the air just catching underneath the wings and pushing some of the feathers down. There we go. And Shazam. I like it. So now I'm going to rub out the lines carefully. And you'll notice as well, so the top of the plumage, it doesn't get, we don't draw a line around it, because that's just done in the color. That's just done in the color. Right. So bizarrely, for the plumage on the front, because we're going to start with that, I'm actually not going to use blue. It's actually a tea green. Now, what you can do if you have limited colors, I would just leave this white, you know. But seeing as we have the fancy colors here, I'm going to do it. But you can just leave that chest white if you so wish. Now the details of the shimmer will come with the other color. So the cobalt blue is perfect for the tops. And indeed, the beautiful tail. Now, if ever you're doing this, you want to kind of do it as quickly as you can with regards matching it up to previous colors. Because sometimes the colors don't blend in if you kind of leave it too long. So like, see the way there, so that's still wet, so I want to get back and continue that. Whereas if I let it dry and then start again, the join will be much more obvious in the color. It's fitting that the shade of blue is Arctic blue. Perfect for Articuno. Lovely grey, dark grey talons. Really cool design. Haha, cool design. Get it? Because it's ice. Yeah, I can actually do some shading. I can start the shading now. Gives little eyes, little color. Much like Squirtle. You know, they just use that tiniest bit of warmth in the eyes just to round off the whole design, otherwise it would be a little too cold. Okay, so shading. Now for the actual body, I use Bluebell, which was the same color that we used for the skin of Wartortle. And it's just this lovely purpley blue, this surprisingly dark purpley blue. Yeah, I'm going to use my getting flashbacks to Articuno and Pokemon Stadium on the N64. It had the most like forlorn sound that it made, like when it was like this weird kind of out of tune whistle, this. And it was quite haunting, actually, which I suppose kind of fits, you know, this lonely, icy bird of prey in sitting in the ocean on an island, a frozen island in the ocean. Right, there we go. There's Articuno, beautiful. And do you want to know a fun fact? This is not my first time drawing this picture, because I'm doing another time too. And I didn't hit record. Now I have the audio of this one. Let's do a comparison. This is side by side. Yep. 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 Ah. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. But even at that wasn't my first time drawing that one either. Because I drew this one first. And I wasn't happy with the way that I'd drawn the wings. Like, so then I drew that one, and then I didn't record it. So in fairness, this is my favorite one. But oh my god, it's just the things I put myself through. Do you know what? I'm just gonna make this Articuno's blue a little bit stronger. There we go. Beautiful. Much better. Now onto Zapdos. Made all those blues. Go ahead, blues. Now, hopefully I only have to draw Zapdos once. Knock on wood, touch wood. So with Zapdos again, you saw the way that I think about Zapdos in the quick draw, but here we actually start with the body. Again, so that's where the beak is going to attach to the face. And there's the two eyes. Looks terrifying. And that's where the legs are going to attach. And that's the tail. Great words, John. So now we can move that out like that, and 2-2, 2-2, and it's just like a triangle. So there's one. Actually, I think I'm going to bring this one down a little bit. It's a little bit too high. Don't like it being like 100% symmetrical and like the way that it was. Because Zapdos is one of those ones that you could very easily accidentally make symmetrical, which is fine if you want to do that. But it takes away from the naturalistic aspect of it. Right, so there's just your kind of sausage fingers. Now, so for the wings, so the way that I kind of like to look at it is, it's like there's kind of a main body within the wing, and all the other shapes kind of come out of it. So the first one that we can do is this top one that kind of comes out like that, and same on the other side. But of course, you know, it's at an angle, so. And then this one kind of goes right out. Same on this side. Then we get a third one that sticks out like that. It's like the top of the wings are like 1, 2, 3. The big one, little one, and then at the bottom there's another one that points down. And between these top ones as well, you've got those black ones, but we'll not color them in right here. It's a really funky design. So we got 5 here. So the way that I like to do, if I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, rather than kind of trying to guess where each one will be, so that's 1 point, 2 points. So because 5's an even number, so 5 will be right in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you just go halfway between, there you've got your. Now, fair enough, you have to eyeball it, but that's just where you train your eye. And the first bit indeed is the beak. So it's got a big long beak, and indeed it matches. It's almost like a big hummingbird. It's like a giant hummingbird. And its eyes are very intense as well. So the spikes are around its head. You got one coming out there. One coming out there. And one coming out there. And one coming out there. So these ones here, they're pointing downwards, you know? And then the rest of them are pointing upwards. So like it's not just random spikes, you know, there's an element of design to them. Yeah. That works pretty well, I think. So, we can do the lines. So we'll actually start off with the beak. So Zapdos has a really cool beak. And watch this, actually. Wow. It's like a tiny little kink. It creates just that kind of 3D effect. And its eyes, oh, I love Zapdos' eyes. They're just so intense. And watch this tiny pupil. Tiny pupil. See, that one's kind of like curved around. That's to show the curve of the head, because that's the thing. This is a 3D object, or at least, you know, it's suggesting it is. Wait till we get to Porygon. Yeah, like Zapdos. On one hand, Zapdos is really easy to draw. You can draw a whole pile of ching ching choo choo spikes, you know. It helps, but bringing it in right. And I just made it. Slight sacrifice to the cause. That line is going to be there, but I love that line so much. So, yeah, mistakes do happen. That's okay. So watch this. So for the talons, do the nails first, because they're on top, and then a little kind of bulge, little bulge, little bulge. And then on down. And you can add, there's a couple of wee lines there. Just making it look like the bend. Whereas in this one, the nail goes away because it's kind of pointed in another direction slightly. But we're seeing it from a different angle. It's like the whole thing is just static electricity, so all of its feathers are just standing on end. Now, there we go. And that line I am just going to live with. Because obviously I don't want to score it out. Oh, smudge. Because I'm going to have to live with that too. But yeah, so there's your line drawing of Zapdos. Oh, one more wee detail. So, there we go. So we can rub out. Okay. Let's give it a go on it. Blue slate, and then we'll go over it. Yeah, because it's not... Like, you'd be tempted to just do it black, but it's actually... It's kind of... Actually, do you know what? This may be perfect on its own. It might dry a little bit lighter actually, so we'll see. Usually when you put down a color, it'll lighten up before you're done. Oh, hello. Forgot to do a line. There we go. Boom. There we go. There's Zapdos. Okay. One more to do. Moltres. I am going to do something a wee bit different just for this one, just for variation from the previous two. Because, I mean, we did one pose in the quick draw, and if you want to do that one, that's fine. But this one, we can actually... So that's the body there. And that's the neck. And watch this. The neck will actually loop around and create the head. I'm going to do a different pose for this one. One we don't see Moltres in as much. And again, this is just going to mark where the beak hits and where the eyes are. It looks terrifying. So, shoulder. Watch it. Yeah, it's at an angle. So, we imagine this, so that's like an elbow there, and this is the hand, and the hand comes out here, like that. Yeah. Same over here, so look, that's an elbow. And then that's the hand, and it spreads out like that. Now, Moltres is a bit like Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, where the flames, we don't draw the lines for those. So what we can do is, just to get a sense of the size of them, we can, you know, draw them initially, just so we can see. Again, remember, when we're drawing flames, wild. Flames are wild. So the beak is like that. It's a little triangle, and almost like a stork. Moltres is like a stork, and her eyes like a dad. So, just to get a feel for where the flames are, just well, again, most of that will come in the coloring, and likewise from here. But like, just when you're drawing, it really just helps. Just let your hand go. There we can kind of do one of its wee legs. And behind. She actually quite like a swan as well. That's her little feet. Little talons. And her tail. Right, let's trace our lines. See what we did? Yeah, no, I apologize. I am sorry. So we're going to leave that top bit open, because that's where the flames are coming out. Now, this bit, we're not going to do any of those lines because that's going to be part of the flame, but we can do little talons. And at the bottom bit of the tail, kind of an interesting one, just to, because I think the way the design works, they have just this very bottom bit outlined. Otherwise, I think it might look like she's powered by fire coming out from places. She's like rocket powered, okay? Yeah, that's acceptable. Okay, so we'll roll about most of our major lines, especially none of the ones that have anything to do with fire. But John, they all have something to do with fire. Moltres is the flame Pokemon. Yes, that is correct. What was Moltres again? Was Moltres in the... what do you call it? Not Rainbow Road. Something Road. Victory Road? Okay. So, the flames of Moltres are really interesting because they're not your average color flame. The flames of Moltres are actually more... they're pink, and they're... at a glance, they look pink and red, but... first things first, let's not make pink and red, please. Thank you very much. But secondly, it's actually closer to a deep orange. So again, we can use those wild lines of what we made with our pencil as a guide, and we can color them in nicely. But again, you know, even when you're coloring in here, you know, you might be using your pencil as a guide, but also feel free to just let your hand go, because and just be sure that the color as well comes up as far as the leg there. You're like, but John, I thought you said that some of it was orange. I was like, yeah, but I'm actually going to do that over the top of this, because I think this pink underneath it will actually help to brighten it a little bit and bring it towards that mistaking it for red. See, that's what happens if you leave it a little bit too long. You can kind of see that outline, which isn't ideal, but... and again, with fire, it's the same thing. Follow the flow. You know, imagine, where is that fire flowing from? Where is it flowing to? Buttercup. Yeah, perfect. Princess Buttercup. Sugar, spice, and everything nice. Those were the ingredients used to create the perfect little girls. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient, Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born. Sugar. Oh no. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Oh, I loved the Powerpuff Girls. They were so good. That drum beat. How much chatting about Powerpuff Girls? I mean, I suppose they're very much the same vintage as Pokemon. You know, they were very much, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. Icons. They're so good. Yeah. That's so pretty. Let's see how this goes. What I could do, add a bit of lipstick red to it if it needs a bit more red. And so Moltres' wings as well, they're sectional, which is kind of cool as well. It's like, so the flames of Moltres' wings don't work the way that, you know, if you're used to drawing flames, you know, because they actually they work differently. They're basically stripes, you know, it just goes pink and orange and pink and orange and pink and orange, or red, depending on what way you want to look at it. That I'm seeing this orange, I'm thinking definitely a bit of lipstick red on top of it. You might be kind of thinking, John, why don't you just start with the other color? Because sometimes it's not just about using one color, as you well may have noticed and discovered. Sometimes it is about layers of color, and like that's something that you can do too. Say if you do have cheaper markers, like it's not just the one color out of a marker, as you could layer on different colors and create, you know, newer layers of different colors, as long as you're mixing from big to from light to dark, because obviously you can't really layer you can, but it's tricky and it doesn't often look great. Actually glad that I saved Moltres for last, because this is actually my favorite one here. This is my favorite drawing. Personally, because I drew Articuno 3 times. 4 if you include the quick draw. Oh my god. Oh, that's my worst nightmare too, is forgetting to press the button. And it happens. It happens. I was teaching a group of kids. I was doing like a filmmaking workshop with them in Rathmullen. Shout out to Rathmullen, Rathmullen Film Festival. And there was one of the kids. They were pointing the camera, and everybody was doing all of these mad things. And then they went back to watch it, and what they had done is, you know what, when they thought they had paused, or when they thought they hit record, they actually stopped it from recording, and then, you know, they were too busy watching the action and not realizing that it wasn't recording anything. Yeah. Yes. Yep, that's the color I needed. And the layer of orange underneath helps it pop and not just look red, because red can sometimes be a bit hollow. Well, it depends on lipstick red. Anyway, this color that I'm using can sometimes be a bit hollow. So having that base of orange. Oh yeah, that is exactly the color that I'm after. Excellent. That's a whole skill in itself as well, is identifying colors. You know, you might think, what, really? It's like, yeah, but like color theory is a huge thing in art. But like even just being able to look at a color and try to work out what that color actually is, because sometimes you can have really weird optical illusions where a color will actually look like one color, but it's actually a completely different color. Flashback to when everybody was arguing over whether or not a shirt was black and gold or white and blue. That is another tricky thing though with regards, you know, going over layers like this, is sometimes the ink can blot a little bit, which when you're drawing, usually that's fine or whatever, but when you're doing flames, that can be a bit tricky. Like, see down here, see the way those little points have essentially turned into little kind of blobs, so like, you know, you can try to point it back out there, but because there's so much ink and it's not all 100% dry on the page, it means that some of it's just gonna like blot. It's gonna like kind of seep out into other parts of the paper, which is exactly what you want. Wonderful. Oh, I love that. Excellent. And there we have Moltres. So, and Articuno. That's pretty cool. Oh, I'm delighted with that. Seeing them all together. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, cool. Ah, this is so cool. Class. Here we go. Oh, there they are. Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon. Yeah, no, we can skip ahead. Oh, there's last week's. Raichu. Oh, and they're gonna pop in between here, but we just need an extra Polly Pocket. And remember, even numbers on this. Oh wait. Yes, even numbers on this side. So, first of all, wow, I made a big thing of, remember guys, and then I didn't even do it in the right thing. I didn't even notice that until now. That's hilarious. There we go. So, there we go. So first of all, we got Articuno. Articuno's 144. So, here it goes in here. Turns out I did actually start with the most complicated one. Oh well. And then secondly, and of course it's the one that I drew 3 times. Does anyone want a spare Articuno picture? I got one. In fact, I got 2. You can color one of them. And Moltres. Awesome! That's cool! There's Raichu for now, and Pikachu, and Bulbasaur, Wartortle, Squirtle, Charizard, Charmander, Charmander. Ah, this is just gonna get more and more satisfying as it goes on. And indeed... So, there they are. Articuno, done. Zapdos, Moltres. Woohoo! Only still like 1,000 to go. How many are there again? There is 1,021 officially so far. So I still have over 1,000 to do until I do like 21 of these. So this is 4, 12. I've done 12. So easy. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that. Especially the bit where I got to draw Articuno 2.5 times. I will learn. I will learn from this mistake. Hopefully. Anyway, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to find out when I post next. What we will be doing next week is Ho-Oh and Lugia. The other two. They're all 5 of them now are legendary birds, aren't they? I should have looked that one up, but I always considered them also the legendary birds, so yeah, sure. But Ho-Oh and Lugia. It's going to be a lot of fun. Gold and silver. Oh, love those games. Love those games. Tell me which one of the birds is your favorite. Is it Articuno? Is it Zapdos? Is it Moltres? Let me know. I think mine is Moltres. He's just so pretty. Please consider supporting this channel at patreon.com/John D. Ruddy. Almost all that goes on in this channel, and indeed Manny Man Does History, is funded through my patrons and Patreon. So if you feel like you have the space to give me some money to say thank you for providing you with all of these fun illustrations, then please go right ahead. No, seriously. YouTube's hard, okay? And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, where I do daily history videos. And then you can go follow my other channels if you haven't done so already. And it's there that I'm going to be posting some of your artwork, with your permission, obviously. I want you to send me some of your artwork of Pokemon so I can share and show people, show the world, give you a shout out, and share the love of Pokemon fandom. If you've used these tutorials to draw some Pokemon, I'd like to know, and even more so, I'd love to see what you come up with. But for now, I'm going to let you go. See you later.